beginning of the game is the menu function. The player could control the menu through a line. When user points at the button, it will be detected. The knife will collide with the bread. Then it will perform a slice bread function by using the procedure mesh to simulate the slicing plan for slicing the bread object. After slicing the bread, it will spawn a bread object for later functions. The design of these steps is we want the player to try to slice the bread by themselves. It can increase the interest of making the sandwich. The butter knife can run the buttering bread function by using the knife check for getting the heat point and drawing on real-time texture. The addition texture will be added on the original texture to simulate how people buttering the bread. This function includes some timing function, spawn add function, and rotator function. The spawn cooking bread add and the destroy bread add will be triggered when the bread is put in the oven, and the oven is closed and the timer is checked. The timer is the rotator function that always rotates left and stop at 0. For the design of the oven, there's a timer on it. In order to make it more real, we have pinned the timer number by Photoshop and pinned the 2D texture on the 3D model by System Painter. The angle between a range, the sound of open and close the fridge will play by terms. It is using a flip-flap sequence for this function. The stove fire effect was created by a vertical and a horizontal 2D fire texture, which will start with the gas stove button. When the meat and fire are both ready, the meat will start to change the material by using the material inset. The oil putting function is a flash and particle system. It will start when the up vector is pointing to down. The smoke particle system and the cooking meat sound will start when the pan and the fire condition is ready. For the oil bottle design, it is used to pre-warm the pan. The oil type is olive oil. This function envelops the flash particle system, spawn add, and collision functions. When the egg is hit on the static component, the particle system will start to emit the egg fluid. Then it will spawn an egg yolk for collision functions. The cooking egg will spawn when the egg yolk hits the pan collider. The sound and smoke particles will place and start when the collision time between the egg and the pan. For combination, the plan will check the object when the object overlays in the collision area. The objects will change the visibility and let player know it is okay. The greater box is set a collision area that checks the cabbage and the greater box collision. When it is triggered, it spawns the cabbage pieces. The design of the greater box, which has a hole for player to pull out the cabbage pieces. At the end, the player will notice how to make the club sandwich by following the recipe. Also, player can return to the main menu or exit the game.